Hi, interpersonal communicators. It's Michelle McNamara, and I've had a couple of questions already this week on our schedule for the semester. You can find that in the simple syllabus in our Canvas classroom. You can also find it in our regular syllabus in the modules. But just for this class, I'm going to give you a couple of heads up, and so you can be sort of thinking ahead. On the very top of the syllabus, and I printed one out, very old-fashioned of me, but on the very top of your syllabus, it has all my contact information, where my office is at. I do teach a lot in the local high schools, and so you're not going to find me at Glen Oaks very often, and so all of my information's on there, including email. The textbook is all listed in our Canvas classroom as well. There are copies in the bookstore. You can also access this by doing a Google search. You might be able to rent it, buy it, borrow it. I don't care how you get a hold of it, but everyone will need an interpersonal textbook this semester. If your roommate, suite mate, best friend, or cousin happens to have a copy because they're in my online class, you can always just borrow theirs. When our class meets, that's fine. You don't have to have your own. You have to have access to one. So save money when you can. As you look ahead, it talks about my late work policy and no late work is accepted. You already know that. It's got the grade scale, and that's the Glen Oaks approved grading scale. I don't know if you can even see it. If I hold up the video, it's probably backwards, but it's got the Glen Oaks approved grading scale. I stick really closely to that. The only exception is, let's say you end my class with a 65.0001. I will round that up to a 66, so you'll get a 1.5. I do the same thing if you've gotten like a 93.0004%. Our math department would tell you that that does not round, but I always try to give the, the tie goes to the runner. I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I will round it. Now, sending me an email at the end of the semester saying, hey, Mrs. McNamara, you're my favorite. I have a 68%. Can we bump that up to a 4.0? Unfortunately, I will become your least favorite because I don't round any more than just that little fraction of a percentage. The breakdown for scores in this class is as follows. There are 3 exams. Each of the exams are 100 points apiece. We have to write 2 personal connection essays or journals where you find a term in the textbook that you connect to. Usually that happens later in the semester as far as you start to connect to material as we get more interesting in the topics. And there were 2 of those due this semester. And then we've got 12 weeks of online discussions and participation, and then quizzes. So those are worth the other 180 points for the semester, making up about 500 points. Last but not least, I promised you a schedule. Obviously, welcome week already well underway. Then we just do chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and then at the end of chapter 4, we do a module 1 exam. That's going to be due October 3rd. I think that's the Saturday. And then we sort of wipe this slate clean and we start with module 2. So chapter 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we take the module 2 exam. It looks like that's due around November 7th. So that's when our module 2 exam is done. Note to yourself is that the module 1 exam is the only exam we have before midterm grades are due. So you might want to just keep that in the back of your mind. Lastly, we do chapters 9 and 10 together, and then 11, 12, and 13, and then our very last module 3 exam is due on December 10th. And that's important for you to know because there is no more exams. I don't do a cumulative exam at the end where I go back and ask you questions from chapter 1 through 13. We do 3 module exams, 1, 2, and 3, and once that 3rd module exam is done, there are no more tests or exams for this class. You will find that I am very interested in this material, almost annoying, I get it, but you'll never fall asleep in my classes, even online, and it's pretty clear cut. I let you have access to the entire class on day 1 so that you can work a couple of weeks ahead. I don't recommend much more than that, but a couple of weeks ahead if you know you have a very busy schedule, and never behind, so you can never fall behind. You can always work a little bit ahead. I think that's really nice. I had a lot of professors that would release one section at a time and you could never work ahead. And if you worked like I did, 12 hours every weekend night, or if you're busy playing sports or you had things at the fair or whatever your life challenges are, it's just nice to be able to see the whole semester at once. And so I won't necessarily grade them early, but you will have access to the material early. So having that said, I hope that helps with the syllabus a little bit. If you've got specific questions, you can email me anytime. Enjoy. We'll talk to you soon.